Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Today's episode of Frankenstein Control is brought to you by Zack Vandergast's Premium Liquid. Rub it on your toes and shove it up your nose. It's the magical cure-all that what makes you feel the good. Take that premium liquid and place it in a 4-ounce glass. Shake until the liquid is gone. The liquid isn't actually gone, it is merely turned invisible. Take the invisible liquid and place it on any cracked surface. Marvel as it magically fills, perfectly matched to the paint of whatever crack you have just filled. Got that car dent? Now you don't gotta pay rent, because Zack Vandergast's Premium Liquid turns into money. Simply put the premium liquid in a 4-ounce glass, shake until it turns into money. You have to shake it a different way. Shake it forwards and backwards if you want it to turn invisible. Shake it up and down if you want it to turn into money.
Okay.
Will it cure my rheumatism?
Why, and yes indeed, sir, it will cure your rheumatism. It's also good for treating lumbago.
What about syphilis?
It will not treat your syphilis. You need to go see a doctor.
Is it gluten-free?
You're darn tootin' it's gluten-free. Use it to feed your parrot and he'll gain sentience. Zack Galifianakis' Premium Liquid will make any animal learn the English language in 3 seconds or less or your money back. Warning, all money comes in the form of Zack Vandergast's Premium Liquid money. Sold at your local Menards. You can pick up a bottle and brag to all your friends about how much premium liquid you've done filled your house with.
Menards, that's where I get my hog feed.
That's because the one and only founder of Menards, one Zack Menards Vandergast, founded the company in 1906. He's a proud purveyor of hog feeds and premium liquid.
Wait now, Zack Bernard, that's the bastard who stole 40 acres of our cow pasture.
Zack Menard is not to be confused with Zack Menard Vandergast. Zack Susan Menard is a land baron, and he's out to get all of your oil money. That's right, there's oil under this here county, and the one who found that oil was none other than Zack Menards Vandergast. He found that oil and converted it into his premium liquid and hog feed.
I've lost the thread at this point. Are you my grandson?
I am your grandson, but I'm old enough to be your daddy. I've also lost track of what accent I have. Another side effect of Zack Vandergast's Premium Liquid.
Other side effects? Are there more?
Why, there's tons of side effects.
Just like all the good medication.
Myriad scores of harmful side effects.
Many of which are worse than what you've taken to treat.
Will I lose my hair?
You will lose your hair.
Will my fingernails fall out?
They won't fall out, but they will catch on fire.
But it makes you lose your hair. Can it cure baldness?
It can cure baldness. If you're bald, you grow hair, and if you have hair, you go bald. Using Zack Vandergast's Premium Liquid, you can cure any case of baldness unless you have hair, and then it will cure your hairness. Rub it on your skin, and you'll turn into a different race. We're gonna break his side control. We're gonna break his side control. Sponsored by Zack Vandergast Premium Liquid. A quality product. Purchase it at your local Menards.
Thanks to this premium liquid, I can finally be the bald Filipino person I've always wanted to be.
Wait, you're not? Oh, I think I've been drinking too much of the premium liquid. Oh, well, I hope everyone is enjoying a fine glass of premium liquid wherever you're listening to our show. I'm your host, Taylor Russell, fine purveyor of competitive hog feed. To my right is Ada Ship.
I'm a fine purveyor of competitive hogs. They're hogs that want to beat you at anything you do, whether it be beauty pageants, video games, sports. These hogs will try to beat you.
And they will. And in front of me, as always, is B-Rye.
I'm B-Rye, and I personally saw those hogs shoot a man to death.
They were, after all, in the shooting man to death competition.
That is a competition.
The new Olympic sport.
That's
shooting a guy.
They beat out Richard the Iceman Kuklinski. They outshot him. And then shot him.
Is that where the Iceman comes from?
No, Richard the Iceman Kuklinski was a mafia hitman who killed 200 dudes.
Oh, it's a lot of dudes.
And he got the name the Iceman because he got an ice cream truck and we would freeze their bodies after he killed them. And then, like, dump them after freezing them for a while, under the then correct assumption that forensic pathologists at the time would, like, not be able to calculate time of death or even cause of death if the body had been frozen.
Is that why the Jolly Ollie Man was psychotic in Hey Arnold?
Probably.
I remember the Jollert Man. He provides the children with ice creams, except when there's a heat wave, and then he denies it to them. Well, actually, no. The thing was, he was selling the ice cream for increased gouging prices because there was a heat wave.
Yeah.
And the kids were staging a revolt against the bourgeoisie. See, now you're wondering why there's so many of us our age who are wanting to take down the establishment. Now you know why.
Yep.
Because of Hey Arnold, teaching us valuable lessons.
Just Hey Arnold.
Just Hey Arnold. That's
just that episode.
Mm-hmm. And the episode of Arthur where Buster puts Mr. Ratburn in the guillotine for.
When I was a kid. Whenever I heard about any kind of horrible calamity when I was a kid, like, naturally you always try to think, like, could I live through that? Like, could I find a way to, with the hindsight of history, could I find a way to escape that situation if I was traveled back there in an unfortunate episode of Wishbone or some shit like that? And, when I was like 7 or 8 and I was learning about the French Revolution, as I understood it, like, there was multiple ways they executed people that didn't just guillotine you. Because the guillotine took a long fucking time. You know, you got to do it sequentially, and if you get like 300 people, it's going to be a long
To speed things up, they had to employ the flying guillotine. Now I'm just imagining a guy in like a big like Louis XIV wig and fancy clothing going
whipping around a flying guillotine, doing the kumite noise.
Has to be animated by the guys who do the Boondocks.
Yes. Oh my god, Flying Guillotine's an awesome movie, by the way.
I haven't seen Flying Guillotine. I just know of it.
I watched it when I was 17, and it was on our on-demand for some reason.
When you were 17, it was a guillotine year.
Yes, but anyhow, so the French Revolution, they killed people in a lot of ways, and the guillotine's obviously the most famous, but they also did, like, firing squads or, you know, typical shit like that. One way
hashtag squad goals.
One way that they would kill a lot of fucking people, and I think sometimes they let you pick. Like, sometimes, if you were a noble person, they'd be like, how shall you meet your fate? I don't know why I'm giving them that voice. That's not French at all.
That's right. If you need to be French, it'd be like, how would you like to meet your fate? That's indie. That's French.
That's Apu, the racist stereotype that we're supposed to dislike.
No, that's what French accents sound like. It's not a racist portrayal at all. It's French people. You've never heard it. You've never been to France, be right? You wouldn't know.
I'll have to take your word for it. But anyhow, when I was a kid, and I was learning about the French Revolution, the different ways they kill people, and I'd be like, which one would I pick? How would you escape that? And then apparently one of the ways they would kill people, like a lot of people at once, is they just, like, sort of barge you out into the middle of the river, like a whole bunch of people at a time, and then just, like, push them off the barge and drown them in the river. And I'd be like, oh, I picked that. I can swim. I'd escape that way then. Surely there wouldn't be far too many bodies to escape the press of people pushing you under, and they probably wouldn't have muskets or some shit to bring to in case somebody tried that exact fucking trick.
The joke's on you. I can swim. Swim through bullets, you big dog.
Yeah.
You can't swim with all that lead on you. Mon Dieu. Oh, dude, the French Revolution was a happy time all across the universe. There was people painting the town red. You know what I'm saying?
That's why it was called the Reign of Terror.
Well, I mean, why would they call it that?
people were scared of the rain.
Oh, that's right, because they drown easily.
The French are severely hydrophobic people.
Yeah, all the water droplets had like scary Halloween masks on.
That's true. I had a French friend, and whenever he was in the rain, the water would just slide right off him. It was quite impressive. I gotta admit.
The never moist band.
It's like the Black Plague. There are only people left whose ancestors were immune to the plague.
Right.
And as such, there are only French descendants of people who are immune to water.
Everyone else drowned.
I'm so thirsty.
Everyone else drowned, even the people on the barge doing the pushing.
It is an honest way to go out.
Like they get splashed a little bit. Just, oh!
Takes a moment to go, life, eh? Puts out his cigarette.
Smoky cigarette, our offensive episode. Bonjour to all of our French fans over there in France. I hope you really like all of our insensitive portrayals of your history.
I think I have some French ancestry, so don't at me. You can't
yeah,
at me because
here
I
it
don't
is.
have Twitter.
I went on Ancestry.com. Here it is. Jean-Pierre Paris. Hello.
Paris.
The city of lights. The city of farts.
Actually, the French ancestry in me is through my grandmother, the Nevers family.
The what family?
Nevers. That was their last name.
Nevers?
Nevers.
That's rad.
I've never heard of a name like that.
Oh!
You go straight to fucking heck.
Oh boy. So, what's everybody been up to in this past 5 minutes since we stopped recording the last episode? Because we're transparent around here.
Been huffing paint and doing a shit ton of homework and playing games when I could.
You've been huffing paint, huh?
Yeah, a lot of it.
What kind of video games you play? You used to play Skyrim?
Pretty much Skyrim, Red Dead when I feel like it. I just pretty much switch back and forth between those two.
I was playing the ever-loving fuck out of Dark Souls 3 until I played it too much, and then I'm like, I did everything. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing left. And then I downloaded a mod, and it refreshed the game, and then I played the absolute fuck out of it. Again, I'm like, now there's really nothing I can do. But I still want to play a Souls game. Oh no. Where's my cursor going? Oh, it's sliding towards Dark Souls 2! Ah! And so, yeah, I've been playing Dark Souls 2. A game that has received some harsh criticism over the years.
And justly so.
Was that the one where you were a weird green jerky man the whole time?
Yes, you're a weird green jerky boy because...
Oh, and a bald one, too.
Yes.
Lose your hair the more you die.
Because you ate that mystery liquid or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you ate the premium liquid. That's what happens.
No,
that's what Estus flasks are.
It's premium liquid.
It's Zack Vandergast premium liquid. It'll restore your undead vitality.
Note that I said you ate the liquid. Usually you drink liquids. Not this one.
No, you want a piece of milk? Don't. You want a piece of You want a piece of Zack Vandergast
John
premium
Vanderzee.
liquid.
Zack Vandergast solid liquid. The only liquid you can crunch.
Oh man, but yeah, I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 2, and like I kind of went into I played it before, I played it all the way through, and I wasn't super thrilled by the end of it. But for some reason, I don't know what's changed, but I'm actually really enjoying my playthrough this time around, despite its many flaws.
It's because you haven't gotten to the second half of the game. Honestly, that's where it starts getting shitty for me.
Really?
Like, when I played through it the very first time, I was mostly into it until I got to, Drangleic Castle.
Oh, the big cool obsidian castle.
And it's like you go in there and it's like, okay, this is like the final boss area, it seems like. And then it's not.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you gotta do all this other shit, and you end up going through like a mansion.
Yeah, you gotta go through Aldia's mansion, then you gotta go to the dragon area.
And like you're in the dragon area, and like you're on these stone spires that go on for miles and miles that you cannot see anywhere else in the game. So like, where the fuck even are they?
Yeah.
Within the context of this world, and it's just like, I want to be done with this. Why haven't I reached the end? I don't want to play this anymore. And then you do, and then You get to the last 3 bosses, because that's how that game does.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You do everything right.
That's right, you get to the last boss, and surprise, surprise, it's 3 bosses.
Yeah.
You fight 2 at the same time, and you go, what the fuck is this shit? Ah, jeez. And you spend an hour fighting that, because it's awful, from what I remember.
Yeah.
And then you fight the final boss, and by that point, you're just...
And then she's not the final boss.
Oh, yeah, then Aldia shows up, right? Yeah. Aldi shows up and he's like, discounts on sausage!
Pay a quarter to use a shopping cart!
He just shoots flaming shopping carts at you.
Each of them takes away like 0.25 souls.
The only way to block them is to use the quarter shield.
Oh, jeez. But no, it's weird. I don't know what it is. Like, that might be it, but... because I haven't gotten to Drangleic Castle. Maybe my outlook will change once I get there. But I don't know what it is. I think it's because I've played so much Dark Souls 3 that now playing Dark Souls 2 is weirdly tolerable. It's odd. Like, I think I just got to a point where, you know... I'm looking for a Souls experience, but I want it to be different, and I don't mind if it's outwardly antagonistic towards me.
Yeah.
Why don't you try the Sekiro game everyone's talking about?
Oh, because I had
you'd have to buy it.
Yeah, because I had Dark Souls 2. But I mean, I did just buy the DLC, so I better be ready and raring for a lot more Dark Souls 2.
Yep.
Because I done bought all 3 DLCs because it was on sale, $5 off for all 3 of them. Yeah, $25. And so yeah, I'm just... There's a lot of gameplay elements in it that I'm not a fan of, but also, like, it's still a Souls game, and it employs a weapon system that I actually kind of like, where none of the other Souls games let you wield 2 weapons, you know, 1 in each hand, of whatever weapon you want. And if you have the stats for it, you can just switch into like a dual wield mode, and you can use both weapons at the same time.
That's pretty sweet.
Because like in Dark Souls 1, nothing like that outside of the outside of Syrian, whatever.
Yeah, Kieran.
Yeah, Kieran's daggers, I think, were a dual weapon that you could use 2 of them. And and in Dark Souls 3, all of the 2 dual weapons are like a set that, you know, you can equip in one hand and then press Y to equip in both hands. And in Dark Souls 2, there's nothing like that. There's just, here's a Morning Star. I will hold a Morning Star in my left hand, and if I hold the Y button, I shift my hands very subtly and slightly, and now that means I can swing them both. And I like that. I'm okay with that. That's actually pretty cool. I'm super down with that, actually. Especially because I'm using 2 great swords right now.
Yeah.
And the great swords...
You would.
The great swords in that game are, like, the ridiculous guts style, like, berserk style great swords.
Fucking massive wedges of steel.
Yes. And whenever you... That is a thing that I miss in Dark Souls 2 that I wish transferred over to Dark Souls 3 is, like, the heavy weapons, they do have oomph to them. But... in Dark Souls 2, they really go fucking extreme with that shit. Every time you, like, you swing your greatsword, when it hits the ground, an explosion of dust and a big happens, and you're like, oh my god, I sliced the world in half. And it makes you feel good for doing it. And it's, I don't know, it's just been a lot of fun so far. And it'll probably change once I get to Drangleic, and I'll be like, this game fucking sucks! But then again... I remember, one of the things I remember that was a lot worse than any of my memories of Drangleic Castle was there's this boss in at the end of this area called the Lost Bastille, or the middle of this place called the Lost Bastille. And in it was, you had to fight 3 bosses at once. As a boss battle.
The Ruin Guardians?
Yes, the Ruin Guardians. Yeah. There are 3 of them. 3 tall, lanky, armored assholes with pole hammers, and they're good with them. And you know, you start out just fighting 1, but then eventually 2 of them will come and try and gank you. And I remember having the hardest, most frustrating, teeth-gritting, controller-breaking, the swear word throwing rage at that fight. And I was just like, this game fucking sucks! Oh, man! Oh! And then fast forward a few years, this time around, I'm fighting him. I kill him on like my third go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just in a better headspace. I don't know.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Maybe you just had a good weapon set up this time.
That might have been it. I was using 2 axes, like just 2 like brigand axes at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't have my great swords yet.
Yeah.
Well, then there's me, who has gotten stuck playing Spyro 2, the remastered version, which I've been... Like, I'm stuck at Gulp, the boss fight with Gulp, and I could perfect him when I was 12.
Yeah.
Why can't I do it now that I'm 30? It's the same fucking game.
That is always like one of the most frustrating fucking things ever.
Yeah.
Is the opposite of, I guess, what I'm going through, where now that I'm older and wiser, I can take on these things with a new eye, and I've done it so much easier. But then the complete opposite of that is like, I was perfect and now I'm a fool!
Can't get past this fucking dinosaur with a laser gun on his back. This is horseshit.
I can't wait till Donkey Kong 64 remastered. That'll be a big hit. Everybody will love that.
I stopped playing Spyro in the middle of the third one because
cheetah just got to you.
I know. I've told you about this. I don't know if I've talked about it on the show, but I fucking hate Hunter.
Hunter the cheetah. Yeah.
He's a fucking like racist prick. Like, every time he's like, "Oh no, Spyro, these sheep are off and minding their own business. Let's fucking murder them." No, you don't need to.
Spyro, like, you gotta kill the sheep because they're what the Mexicans eat. But Hunter, what the fuck? You gotta do it, Spyro.
We have to have a racially pure Avalar.
Oh no, Hunter, no.
I'm just committing a little bit of genocide. It's okay.
Hunter, the Chester Cheetah of eugenics.
Yeah. But there's a mission where you have to like fly around on a shitty glider and like shoot sheep UFOs.
I remember that being really fun.
I hate it. It's so annoying because they like the like field of view isn't big enough to actually shoot what you need to. So like all this stuff will appear like in the corner of the screen, and it's there for like half a second, and then it's gone, and you can't turn around to shoot it again because you're on rails. So it's like, you lost. You gotta do everything perfectly.
That does sound like those games had a lot of that, and I was just blind to it when I was a kid. Yeah. Mostly because there weren't other games, and like lots of games just had shit like that. And it's like you either you didn't know games could be better. Yeah. So you either learned to deal with it or you didn't play games.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's kind of how I was with the Crash Bandicoot collection. Mm-hmm. The only Crash Bandicoot game I ever played as a kid was the third one, Warped. And I played through that in the remakes on the remastered version on the PS4. Yeah. And that was a lot of fun, but like as time wore on, I was kind of like, maybe they could have fixed more than just the graphics in these games. Maybe they could have fixed some of the things that makes the gameplay kind of shit and makes you regret your decisions. Especially then I tried playing Crash 1 and oh my goodness. Ooh, that game is pain. That game is just pain. That's all it is pain. And they're like, how did this series get so popular? How did this get famous? Yeah. Oh, how to get famous? It's a penis in my anus. But I mean, I beat the third one, and then the third one is really funny because you beat the final boss, and in classic old game fashion, it's just kind of like you beat the boss. It's over. There's no fanfare at all. It's just credits. So you're like, what? When I don't get to see Ukas going to a black hole or some shit. I don't get to see Neocortex blow his brains out in depression or some shit. No, it's just credits. And it's the weirdest fucking thing.
Crash gets really close to the screen and just, I won!
You, Crash Bandicoot, are the hero of Korodai! There is one thing I definitely am a fan of in the Crash remix, though, is how, with the increasing graphical fidelity, they also up their game and making everyone really expressive in the game, and just, it looks great. Like, the character designs and how they emote and all that kind of stuff looks less like a video game and more like a movie.
Okay.
So very expressive characters, which I love. It's great. And also, you can play as Coco, and that's awesome, too. Because I like playing as her because she's fucking kawaii desu kane! Yo! Also, she dies in cartoony fashions, just like Crash does. And I think there needs to be more of that in just things in general. With just, you know, have female role models who are slapsticky and goofy, because that's just... That's equality in my eyes.
Yeah.
You all are expected to be smart. Have everyone be stupid. And that's the way the Gookie grumbles. I don't know what that means.
No, neither do I.
So, shifting gears a little bit, I have started reading. I started last night when I was supposed to be doing stuff for my class.
Fool!
I started reading a comic on Webtoon. Do you guys know what Webtoon is?
No.
It is an app on the phone. Or
the phone?
The phone. From Apple.
New from Apple. Phone.
I have it on my iPhone, and I guess you can get it on your iPad too. But it's probably compatible with other mobile platforms.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, why wouldn't it be? But it is it's an app for publishing a comic.
Oh.
And there's lots of self-published little comics on this app, and you can just check up on them and read them, and they're really fun. You read in the comic by scrolling downward, so it's just one really super tall structured comic, and you just pan down the whole thing, and that's how you advance. And Alyssa got me the app on my phone because she got it so she could read this comic she's a huge fan of called Space Boy. Space Boy is phenomenal, by the way. Get it to read Space Boy, because Space Boy is great.
Okay.
But I started exploring a few other things on the app, and I saw an ad for this comic. It's a Korean manga called Home Sweet Home, and it's pretty sweet. And,
Home.
It is about this kid who's not really super specified mid-high school age. A
young man,
and he's his family died in a car accident. Oof. And he uses basically inheriting the entire family's money to be a hikikomori.
Oh gosh.
And he just sort of lives in this shitty, depressing studio apartment that he buys with the money that's left him. Lives off of shitty ramen and pizza and delivered food. And his entire life is online gaming and the internet.
Cheerful.
And because of that, he doesn't notice when humanity starts to be overrun by this monsterization. It's equal parts zombie apocalypse and Parasite.
Okay.
And it's a lot more in common with traditional zombie apocalypses in terms of the way it progresses. People start becoming these things, and society breaks down, and people are like, "What the fuck is going on?" But the things that people turn into, unlike in a zombie apocalypse, aren't the same thing. They turn into wildly different monsters. Each one of them is sort of unique.
That's kind of cool.
And just terrifying. And it becomes a survival horror manga of him, realizing too late that this is going on. And, he has neighbors, in his apartment building that start to succumb to this.
Uh-oh.
And then he has to team up with other survivors and sort of stop being a misanthropic asshole who's just sort of collapsing under the weight of his own bad habits, and come out of his shell and learn to care about and try to save people again. And it's very captivating, and it's very scary, and it's really well drawn, and the action scenes are super cool. And
does his hand turn into a penis?
No, his hand does not turn into a penis.
So why are we even comparing it to Parasite? There's no other similarities.
Parasite has a character whom I love, named Uragami, who is the serial killer.
Of course.
He rapes and kills women, which I do not approve of, and I don't like him for that reason. But I have to say, on the anime itself, not in the manga, but on the anime of Parasite, I really aesthetically like Uragami's design. Pallid, short dude, like hoodie over the prison uniform, buzzed hair, murders people. Like I love it with the bags under his eyes. It's great. I'm like,
just like you.
Yeah, except for the short.
You seeing a theme here?
The B.R.I.'s favorite My Hero character will be the Blue Fire guy. You'll find out when it happens.
Yeah.
The animes, the webtoons.
That already happened.
Oh wait, no. Well, he watches Toonami.
Oh, you're talking about Dabby.
Yeah.
And that's what you.
Oh,
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I like him.
his name's Dabby. I forgot.
Yeah, that's why I dabbed.
I call him Dobby because it sounds like D-A-R-B-Y, Darby.
Dobby.
Do you understand? That's from JoJo.
I know that's from JoJo's. And it is pronounced Dobby on the anime. Dobby is free now. Let's give Dobby a sock.
That's all Midoriya has to do is give him a sock. It's like, no, Master Midoriya has given Dobby a sock.
Well, once he gives him a sock, he's just going to constantly demand Dobby pussy indulgences.
Please don't.
Nobody wants that.
Well, you need to explain this before we leave, because I'm not leaving our audience on that.
And then friggin' Bella.
It's just some dumbass Tumblr meme. It's like from a shitpost where it just says, the Pope bangs his Pope scepter on the ground and demands a Dobby pussy indulgence. There's no explanation as to what a Dobby pussy indulgence is.
That's just a schizophrenia post.
Yes.
It's not a shit post, it's a skit post.
I was going to say he demands that, and then Bellatrix Lestrange warps out of a wormhole and throws a knife at him.
Local Pope knifed by witch.
A real headline from 1492.
And right here, an advertisement for none other than Zack Vandergast's premium liquid. Ooh, and it says here, oh, that's why all those French people drown. Uh-oh.
Makes your bones made of lead.
Zack Vandergast premium liquid turns your bones into lead. Get it today. Go to your local Menards and go to the frozen vegetables section to pick yourself up a 5, 10, or 15-gallon drum. Drink up and ride with the champions. Oh, it feels like a dragon is eating my...
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.